Hi, I'm Bill Osmolsky with the MacIver Institute, and this is your MacIver News Bulletin. So far, the Joint Committee on Finance has focused on finalizing some of the less controversial items in the state budget. But there was still plenty of controversy at the Capitol last week as the Assembly took up a package of 4 pro-life bills, including AB 179, the Born Alive bill. It would make infanticide a crime in Wisconsin.
If you think abortion extends to the life of the baby after the baby comes out and takes a breath, that just proves our point why we need this bill.
During the floor debate, Democrats dismissed the bills as a political stunt by Republicans. They avoided debating the bills directly and attempted to change the subject to their goal of expanding Medicaid.
Today is what we see as a priority. And again, it gets introduced to distract from an agenda that is overwhelmingly supported by the people of Wisconsin.
This bill and the bills before us today are based on false premise, false statements of facts, and false statistics. The rhetoric you have used has not been to inform, but to incite.
Republicans had a feeling that was going to happen before the debate even began.
It is a debate about protecting a baby that was born alive. And if a party cannot stand for that, I can see why they're embarrassed and are going to try to do everything they can during today's debate to try to move off that subject.
We know that the left has become so radicalized on abortion that abortion on demand up until the point of natural delivery is something that they openly discuss nationally.
Some Republicans believe there are Democrats who wanted to support the pro-life bills, but feel pressured not to.
I didn't want this to be a political shot across the bow. I'm seriously asking some of my colleagues that I know if it wasn't because of party lines or politics, you would be voting with our side on these bills today.
Almost all Republicans voted for the 4 pro-life bills, and nearly every Democrat voted against them. Democrat Representatives Cabrera and Myers from Milwaukee refrained from voting on the bills, and Republican Representative Whichgers voted against all the bills. Obviously, religion plays a big factor in where people fall on the issue of abortion, and Republicans were not afraid to mention God in their floor speeches.
We're all going to stand in front of God and give an accounting. And I truly believe that.
However, if there are religious Democrats in the Assembly, they mostly keep it to themselves. Representative Mark Spreitzer is the only Democrat in the Assembly whose official biography includes membership in a church. He belongs to the United Church of Beloit. However, that church does not take a position in the pro-life debate. Its pastor told me if he asked his members about their individual positions, quote, it would be both. There would be people that are pro-life, but not to the extent of what they're doing in Alabama, and there would be people that are pro-choice, but not to the extent of what they're doing in New York. Up until recently, there was a second Democrat in the Assembly whose biography also included membership in a church. Representative Evan Goyke from Milwaukee scrubbed his official biography sometime over the past month and removed his affiliation with St. Michael's Catholic Church in Milwaukee. Goyke did not return my call, but the parish said he hadn't been a member there for quite a while. Both Spreitzer and Goyke voted against all the pro-life bills. Meanwhile, work on the state budget continued throughout the week. Governor Evers' budget included $40 million in new borrowing to replace lead pipes on privately owned property in Milwaukee. Republicans took that out of the budget, arguing that other cities in the state made replacing lead pipes a priority in their local budgets without a handout from state taxpayers. Meanwhile, Milwaukee just decided to borrow another $47 million for its streetcar. Republicans said the city needs to get its priorities straight.
The city of Madison did a great job over the course of the past dozen years getting rid of lead laterals on their own without a mandate from the state. So write that down. I just said Madison did something really, really good for their citizens, okay? So the very fact that Madison made that decision without a mandate, without the state of Wisconsin saying we have to pay for it, is a prime example of the legislation that we passed last session, which allows for local control to make those decisions where they have the ability to pay for up to half the cost of replacing private citizens' lead laterals. Remember, these are private property. These are not owned by the taxpayers. They're not owned by the water utility. They're owned by the homeowner. So Governor Evers' plan to say that if you've already replaced your lead laterals, we're going to let you pay for the people who didn't choose to do it yet. I like the option of allowing local governments to make that decision and not a one-size-fits-all equation from Wisconsin to say that places like Madison you're going to pay for everybody else in the state that wasn't as thoughtful in making the decision as you were.
Believe it or not, that was one of the easy ones. The Joint Committee on Finance plans to start tackling the really contentious issues over the next couple of weeks. It hopes to have the bill finalized by the end of this month. The Assembly and Senate will then vote on it sometime in the middle of next month. Be sure to visit MacIverInstitute.com for regular updates and check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. For the MacIver Institute, I'm Bill Osmolsky, and this has been your MacIver News Bulletin.